In 1976, drummer-composer Narada Michael Walden, fresh off his stint from the second lineup of the Mahavishnu Orchestra, released his debut solo album, Garden of Lovelight, and from that album, the lavish instrumental White Night. Kind of like that staying at the threshold of bright, heavenly light type aura. Let's see, who are we hearing so far? Little credits are given for this track, although the conductor on a few of the numbers is Michael Gibbs. Yeah, the Zimbabwean um, classical third string guy. The way that organ, that kind of heavy or like earthy organ, is like laying these like lower sustained notes as these lyrical bends kind of soar over the top on the guitar. That's bass almost sounds synthesized. It's from Will Lee. Yeah, it's got a real like sustained kind of smooth tone. I love those like crying type tones on the guitar. So just epic about these like open cadence sustained chords with lyrical leads over the top, like really just piercing over everything, and just these chords that kind of like land on suspended notes and then release them. Now we got like a mixture of like open cadences and like the bass and the backdrop and everything, and a slightly tighter riffage here. Icy organ tone, just like holding like this one note all the way through. Really smoldering now. The guitarist you are hearing is Raymond Gomez, who had played in Larry Young's Fuel, put out a great album that same year, and with the Joachim Kuhn Band, among other things, among many credits. And the bass work of Will Lee. Yeah, these are familiar names that I've. And then the keyboard, that organ is David Sancious. Yeah, the one and only, who was leading his own jazz rock ensemble Tone at the same time. I guess it's worth knowing that this album was produced by Tom Dowd, a producer with a legendary producer with, yeah, a lot of credits. I guess the first time I ever noticed his name was on Chicago's 14, the Thumbprint album, which I like all right. But he, I think, goes back to the 1950s. Yeah. I was kind of wondering why because at first I was thinking, they could have had David Foster produce that. Instead, they chose Tom Dowd. Because they didn't, not enough of them trusted Foster yet because he didn't have many credits at that point. And all thicker. I guess Ray Gomez is like overdubbing, playing rhythm and lead. I love these movements, the change of key. I think they go up like three, like a step and a half for that. Choice use of flats and sharps. When you're in like one key and then you move up a step and a half, it gives it like this heightened elevation. It just feels like much more than just kind of like a step up. It's like a step up. It's more like an ascent into the air. And it's so great when you go from like G, an ordinary chord, and you take that kind of a step up to B flat, because then that opens the door to a whole bunch of like flats and sharps that you can maneuver around in. Oh, hear those strings coming in. And notice how our star is not really dominating anything. He's just kind of playing these like open cadence, like epic, toms and everything. Just he's facilitating the whole kind of airy, kind of heavenly aura of the piece, giving it that strength that it needs. But he hasn't like sprayed a bunch of toms or anything. That's where if at the last minute he was gonna like throw in some really fluid rolls. This almost seems like a climactic number for an album, but it's actually track 1. Yeah, it has that kind of like grand finale type feel to it, although it's actually the intro. It's actually the start of everything. Let's hear another track from the album. First Love. Oh, beautiful, very simple chords. like C major seventh to F. No, G. Yeah, C major seventh to G. Yeah, very simple piano, light cocktail guitar, a bit of harp here and there, strings, lush. Now we've gone like a minor key. C minor. Interesting to go from like C major seventh to C minor, and then of course C minor opens up the door to some flats and sharps, like we just heard A flat. Let's see, the arrangements on this track are, this one is conducted by Mike Gibbs. And, oh, guitar on this, the one and only Devadip Carlos Santana. And harp by Louise Collin. Louise Collin would play on the following year's Don Cherry album, Here and Now. Good record. Yeah, a tighter kind of jazz funk record for him. And the following year's Rosewood with Woody Shaw's Rosewood. Oh, and he would also play on Lenny White's Big City. And the 1979 Arnie Lawrence and Treasure Island. Yeah, that's a strong one. Hard to come by. Oh, and the harpist was in the George Grunt's concert jazz band. I just love these sustains. This would be good for a slow dance. Yeah, a flat. The way they kind of like perforate the key of F right there, it goes into like F, no, yeah, they F, like second, third, yeah, like that. Yeah, see, it's the whole thing is an F, yet you hear this like this G, and then it goes to A, so it's going like from it's explaining like just the scale of F. Same thing here with B flat. That perforation of the strings at the end of each bar. Da-na-na. Yeah, like C major seventh, and just in these simple yet really lush, really full arrangements, you can just work magic. Oh God, hats off to these guys, Ray Gomez and David Sancious. Yeah, David Sancious playing both organ and piano on this one. Ray Gomez is quite diverse. Funny enough, I think he might be playing more consistently fast in this number than he was in the last one. You just wouldn't know it because his tone is like so soft, so kind of like cocktail. Really rising, swelling. Yeah, this is just like, this is beautiful music for the mid-70s. What I mean by that is like picking up the tradition that was maybe left behind like in the late 50s, like by the likes of Percy Faith or someone. I wonder who had more of an influence here, Tom Dowd or Michael Gibbs? Will Lee being so understated here with his like really smooth kind of just bass that's just creating like this thick kind of underbelly. Yeah, the bass notes just kind of like, they kind of like echo underneath it all. Those final lyrical notes. Yeah. That was Narada Michael Walden and friends with First Love, and before that, White Knight, from his 1976 debut solo album, Garden of Lovelight, recorded with an all-star cast of musicians that were all quite accomplished on the jazz rock, Latin rock musical scenes. You know, David Sancious, subject for installments of his own. And yeah, people who had played with a whole host of others, and conducted by Michael Gibbs, you know, a third string jazz big name, and even featuring the guitar of Carlos Santana. And Narada would head more kind of into the soul funk vein on subsequent albums, but all of his albums up into the early 80s were really strong, you know, because he's, at heart, he's just a really, really skilled composer and arranger, and just has a feel for all the instruments and how they should, you knows how to just hear it all in his head as he writes it, I believe, and just direct people to just knows how to enlist different, because each track on here like is really selective in who is enlisted. It's like one track has Jeff Beck on it, and yeah, another track has Cissy Houston on vocals, and future albums would have even more similar assortment of names from other places, just to lend a distinct touch here and there. Yeah. For more reds and purples from the catalog of Narada Michael Walden, see the directory of albums by American jazz funk artists for this one, and then the directory of albums from American soul artists for the albums after this one. Yes. As well as numerous like-minded artists on both directories, respectively, like 540 and 950 albums strong. Yes. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard, the layers, the nuances, the fullness, the soloing, the chordal structure, the vibe, the beauty of it all. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear travel trimaximist, signing off.